Hello, Soul Tribe, and welcome to the full moon in Taurus video. My name is Andrea Blythe, and I am the traveling magi of Let Love Rise, and I am a big-time Taurus. My sun, my moon, and Venus are all in the beautiful sign of Taurus, where this full moon is happening. The sun is in opposition in the sign of Scorpio, and so Scorpio, Taurus, they sit across from each other in an astrological birth chart. Everybody has some Scorpio and Taurus in their chart. You might not have planets like I do in the sign of Taurus, and you might have even more than me. The important thing to take away when it comes to looking at your birth chart and how the energies above affect you here below is knowing what house Taurus is in for you and what house Scorpio is in for you. And I'm also going to talk about Capricorn. The reason for Capricorn is because there is this really disruptive planet called Pluto, freaking Pluto, man, who has been transforming in Capricorn, because that's what Pluto does. Pluto is known as the great transformer, change, death, endings. And I say Pluto always wins. So whatever needed to be cleared out, wiped out, cleaned up, flushed, has been happening since 2008. That's right. My youngest child was born in 2008. And guess what? They just celebrated their 16th birthday. So for the last 16 years, Pluto has been in the sign of Capricorn. And on Tuesday, November 19th, just a few days after this full moon, Pluto will move permanently into Aquarius. No more of this dance. I have this 30-second dance party. Are you guys ready?
30-second dance party.
Oh, it plays a different song every time. So there's no more of this dance. Pluto is going back and forth between Capricorn and Aquarius as it tiptoes in and out since 2022. So for the last 2 years, we've been experiencing this energy. Boy, this is a really vibrant dance party. Just let me finish this out. I hope you're dancing with me. I'm not dancing alone, am I? Okay, that was 30 seconds, by the way. This ending, this completion is happening in the Capricorn area of your chart. Helpful to know. Helpful to know. Also helpful to know, where's Aquarius? Because on Tuesday, that's where Pluto moves into, beginning a new chapter and a new area of your life that is going to have reformation, change, transformation. Pluto will be there until 2044. So when this energy moves in, it's going to be a little bit more stabilizing. We don't have this back and forth that we've been having. But I want you to celebrate where you are today when you look back at where you have been since 2016, and specifically what has been changing and transforming. So for example, for me, Capricorn is in my 10th house of my public roles and career. And since 2016, I have been working through that, especially in the last 2 years, really changing. I mean, I left my full-time career. I started in 2016 as a full-time mom, and then, I was a fitness instructor, and then I was, a volunteer extraordinaire, and then I went back into the classroom and was teaching, and then I left teaching so that I can teach in a different way, which I do now with the Magi School of Ancient Wisdom, and continuing to lead people through workshops and events to understand their personal soul roadmap, lead them on their soul quest through life. So lots has changed for me, and that's just one of example. That's what Capricorn in the transformation can look like in the 10th house. But for you, perhaps Capricorn has been in the 7th house. 7th house is all about your personal relationships, how you relate to another person. Maybe maybe Capricorn is in your 4th house of your ancestry, your lineage, your family, heritage, home. You understand why it is important to understand these things, or how knowing this part of the astrology can be helpful in making sense of the loss. Perhaps like me and like so many people, you have experienced a lot of disruptive changes lately, and it doesn't feel good. Always remember that the universe is for you, and what is leaving your life is because it is no longer in alignment. I'm sitting here with my beautiful chakra butterfly. This is what alignment looks like. It looks like peace. It looks like well-being, happiness on the inside. And to get to that place of alignment, there's often like detours and roadblocks and all kinds of challenges, I will say challenges that are meant to grow you. So that is the first thing I wanted to talk about. That is on the other side of this full moon, but let's talk about the full moon itself. It is happening on Friday, November 15th, which is a 5 of clubs day. I realize this is backwards, but you guys are smart. You can figure this out. 5 of clubs. What is the 5 of clubs? What does it represent? Well, in the Magi card science system, that we draw meaning from this very ancient wisdom that goes back thousands upon thousands of years into ancient Egyptian times, and even before that into ancient Atlantis, right? That's where my mermaid soul is like, oh yeah, that tracks. That totally makes sense that this came from Atlantis. But it was practiced in the temples and the pyramids of Egypt, and has been underground as a secret society for millennia until the time was ready for the system to make its appearance again, that people collectively were ready to receive it. And it's the age of Aquarius. The time is now. So I'm going to do a little bit of teaching on this energy. This is something that I will be sharing live at the full moon Ground into Love and Transformation event. But I realize many of you are not able to join that live. So here we go. 5 of clubs. The club, the suit of the club, represents our thinking, our mind, our intellect, wisdom, knowledge seeking, definitely intuition, anything that you associate with the mind, or the indigo blue chakra right up here. It is a thinking sign, and the 5 represents change. So when we think about Scorpio in and of itself, Scorpio is a complicated, I say it's complicated, it's a very mysterious sign in the zodiac because it has 3 different archetypes. Not only does it have 3 different archetypes, but as you will momentarily find out, it is that anybody who is born a Scorpio has 3 instead of 2 cards associated with it, and I'll explain why that is in just a minute. But the 5 is the restlessness card. It is this desire for change. So it often represents change. It represents travel. And in the club suit, it can be a change of plans, changing your mind, change of how something happens. And I correlate this with the first archetype of Scorpio, which is the scorpion. Sometimes change, when somebody changes their plans or something doesn't go the way that you think it is, it's something different than you thought, it can sting. It can hurt, like the scorpion. There can be a sting element to it. And so as we think about this, the bigger collective, because this is the energy of the collective. If you're born on November 15th, this is also your personal energy of your soul essence. Your whole soul roadmap is laid out based on your 5 of clubs energy. And so this, as we think about Pluto specifically, who has been doing this dance, I'm not going to hit the dance party button again, since pretty much 2022 is when it started shifting. It's like, I'm in Capricorn, I'm going to go into Aquarius, and then it tiptoes back and forth during its retrogrades. You know, it's so much that way with life, isn't it? Where we are progressing, we are making progress on something, and we're really reaching for something new, a new habit, a new way of being, or whatever it is. And as we move forward, sometimes we take a step back. Sometimes it's 2 steps forward and 3 steps back, you know, with that energy. So Pluto, the most transformative planet of our solar system, has been doing this in our lives personally, based on our planetary or our astrological birth chart, and collectively. Dude, that's a lot of change. That's a lot of, like, because it is always to grow us, to evolve us. It is something that I emphatically believe, that we live in a loving universe. This universe wants us to win. It wants us to be abundant. We are creative beings. We are sparks of the divine source, and we have the power to create the lives that we want. And that's what the universe wants for us. And sometimes when we're just like off course, off of what I call our soul roadmap, there's like a little nudge back on, and that nudge is often through the hard lessons, because that's what will wake us up. Other times we could just be sleeping behind the wheel, you know? Hopefully not like literally, figuratively. We could be living our life just kind of like unaware of the fact that we are the drivers of our life. And often we put fear in the front seat and let fear guide our lives. And Pluto is like, So this is going to be removed. That's going to be taken away. That's going to be stripped away, because you're not in alignment. So let's pull you back in. And it could feel like it's happening to you, but just remember, it's happening for you and for your soul growth. So that is the first energy of this day of the full moon in Taurus, is the 5 of Clubs energy. Change of plans, change of thoughts, change of ideas, restlessness. And like I said, Scorpio is somewhat of a complicated sign because it has 2 rulers. And when there are 2 rulers, or 2 planetary rulers, that means there are 2 planetary cards. So the first is the 7 of Hearts, which is the Mars card of the 5 of Clubs birthday. So your Mars card, this is the planetary ruling card for all Scorpios born on November 15th. And generally what the 7 of Hearts means, it's a very spiritual number. All 7s, whether you're a club, heart, diamond, or a spade, you have a spiritual soul essence. Now, the complication with the spiritual number 7 is, if this is a pendulum, like if it were a teeter-totter, you can easily, people who are 7s, easily teeter into the spiritual world or totter back into the mundane world very easily, depending on life circumstances, what's happening in their world. And so having the awareness that what a 7, if you're born a 7 energy, or where 7 show up for you, again, collectively for all of us on Friday, this full moon, we have this 7 of Hearts energy. It is calling you to go higher, to go to the high spiritual side of what? Of love. Of course, hearts represent love. They represent our relationships. They represent family and home. So it is the card of spiritual love. And ultimately, when we think about the Scorpion or the Scorpio energies, there's the Scorpion, and then there is the eagle. It's the second archetype associated with this zodiac sign. And the eagle has higher perspective. The eagle has vision over all that it sees, right? And so the 7 of Hearts, I associate it with the eagle because the eagle has that vision of reaching higher. I know that many people in this country specifically are disappointed with the election results. I also know that for as many people are disappointed, more people, that's how the vote happened, are happy or are elated. So how do we reconcile that if you're somebody who's feeling the disappointment and maybe anger and fear over what it's going to mean to have our president elect that we have chosen, President Trump? Like how can you personally reach in to yourself, to your heart chakra, the green chakra here, into your love energy and send love outwards. Yes, I am asking you to even send love to Donald Trump, to the White House, maybe especially to the White House, to Kamala, to all the leaders. I mean, you could just like sending love out in a higher way is when you are really angry, frustrated, upset at a person, place, or thing. Like, yes, of course, feel that, express that, and then move it through you. Alchemize that anger energy into this higher spiritual energy of love, because that is the governing energy of our universe. And just imagine what would happen if collectively all the light workers, all the spiritual warriors directed their love energy towards peace, towards upholding that for our country, perhaps for the world. But let's even bring it down into our, like the people who we work with, our community, the people we live with, our family, and then ultimately to ourselves. How do we love ourselves? Anything that we're angry about within ourselves, or any low vibe feelings, low self-worth, feelings that we have in ourselves, how can we transmute that? Because when we come from a place of grounded love, how it could just ripple out. And that's all the magic there is to it, you know? And also, if you're feeling inspired and called to take action, let that anger, let that energy of frustration drive you to do something, to be the change you wish to see in the world. So once again, like when things don't go our ways, when we have these disruptive energies, they are still for us if we can see the higher perspective, if we can reach to the higher spiritual side and put our energy into the spiritual love, right? So I hope that makes sense. And then Scorpio is also ruled by Pluto. Pluto is the secondary planet that rules the sign of Scorpio. And so I think this one is really big for a couple of reasons. The Pluto card for the 5 of Clubs person this is in your soul roadmap, is the 9 of Spades. So the 9 of Spades is the Pluto card of all Pluto cards. Not just because it is literally the Pluto card of a 5 of Clubs person, but in the Magi system, this is the card known as the Death card, right? The transformation card, the major completion. Spade energy, so the way the suits work in order, it starts with the foundation of hearts, and then the mind, clubs, and then values and finances, diamonds, and then spades. Spades is career, health, spirituality, wisdom. It takes in, the spade carries a little bit of all the elements of the previous suits. It is the true north, right? So when you have anything that is of the suit of spades, is it in its fullest and essence. It's, I hope that, yeah, I'm just gonna leave it there. 9s are a spiritual number. They are the second. So 7s and 9s, there's all kinds of ways that 7s and 9s show up in this system, which again is based mathematically and astrologically. It's a very specific, it is called a science because of, you know, the numbers and the symbols and the calculations of how it works based on solar energies. The 9 of Spades is for many people, honestly, a very scary card, or it can be, because it immediately brings up fear of loss and of endings and all of that. And as I've already said at the beginning, Pluto has been working a major area of our life and has been bringing the endings, has been bringing the change and the transformation, and is just about done with that. Here's the beautiful thing about 9 energy. When we allow whatever needs to leave, You know, we channel our inner Elsa and we let it go, let it go. When you let it go, you allow the removal to take place. You clear space energetically to make room for the new beginning. So Pluto will be beginning anew in the sign of Aquarius and working a new area of our life. This also has to do with us personally. Whatever has left, going back to that, it is for you. It may not feel like it at the time, but that is one thing that I want everybody to pull in and really feel that the universe is for you, loves you, wants to see you succeed. And so if you've lost a job, for example, unexpectedly, allowing that job to go away and to take the lessons, what is essential, what can help you move forward in life, and what just needs to go, what's holding you down, and then make space for, okay, so now I don't have a job. I wonder what's next. I wonder. And when we say like, I wonder, that's like this love energy. It's more of a, ooh, this is exciting. It's a new adventure that I can take. I wonder what it's going to be. Or, you know, if a relationship ended and you're desiring to be in a relationship, ooh, I wonder who the lucky next person to come into my life will be. I wonder. Having a sense of wonder and excitement for the new things to come, it's a small little mindset shift. It's a mindset shift that can help us just to enjoy the journey, because life is a journey. I call it a soul quest, right? Our life is a soul quest. And yes, through this system, we all have a roadmap. We all have guidance points that can help us align and move forward in a way where we are peaceful. We have this sense of well-being. And we're also human. So we are not always this higher side of the nine, the spiritual nine, which is, you know, the universal, like nine of spades would be universal giving of wisdom and spiritual gifts. And the seven, that universal unattached form of love. Like, we're humans, and, you know, as I've often said, like, I haven't reached monk status yet. I don't know that I will in this lifetime, but like, we're having human experiences, and what a delight it is to get to experience the whole rainbow of emotions and allow those emotions to be our guides. The nine of spades I associate with the third archetype of the Scorpio sign. So you have the scorpion, you have the eagle, and then you've got the phoenix. The phoenix rising from the ashes. My phoenix here says rise. The phoenix, like, everything crumbles, right? Everything is a heap of ashes. And from the ashes, this new, mythical, mysterious, magical, amazing, beautiful creature rises out of it, totally transformed, totally free, right? And that is a gift that we all have. Whenever an ending has happened in our lives, we can alchemize out of the ashes and rise like the phoenix, or like the butterfly, the caterpillar, who goes into the cocoon and emerges this free creature. You know, I definitely, you know, on my arm, I have butterflies and phoenixes, because it reminds me that no matter what I'm experiencing in my life, and as hard as it is, and let's just be real, it's been hard. It has been hard. I am not going to downplay anybody's story and minimize how tough those feelings are, of grief, of loss, of change. It hurts. And we get to decide when is enough enough. When have we had enough that we are going to change our patterns? When are we going to decide that today is the day that I am going to get in the driver's seat with love and let love be the captain of my ship, of my boat, leading it forward, and tell fear to get in the freaking back seat? Because whenever we are growing and shifting and evolving, fear gets really, really big. It wants to keep you small and safe, and this is what's been known. And like, that just doesn't work all the time, you know? Like, when I would even scratch all the time, it just doesn't work. When you have a desire for more, that is natural to want more out of your life. We are, once again, these really creative beings. And so allow that creativity to rise up, instill a new dream, and imagine, wonder, what can be next? So 5 of clubs, 7 of hearts, 9 of spades. That is an example of how I help people align with their soul roadmap when they're on their soul quest through life. I do have a very exciting program called Soul Quest, where I am happy to work with you personally, one-on-one, to help you align with your energies, to help you work through the tough challenges that you're navigating. It is always more joyful to walk through life with another person, and often more helpful to have somebody else who isn't in your story to help guide you through. And because sometimes when we're just too much in our stories, we can't, we're not as clear on the decisions, and what can be glaringly obvious to somebody else, it just isn't for us, because we're in our emotional body and in that pain. And my work is to help you use that emotional body to tune in to your inner guidance. It is your internal GPS system to learn to love and trust yourself, and use this amazing system to help guide you through what's around the corner for you. I will be sharing very soon an exciting offer for people who are local to the Boise area for a Solstice Navigate Your Winter Roadmap workshop at Trinity Hot Springs. So a little weekend getaway right before the holidays hit, to ground in ourselves and into like just giving ourselves some time, a time to check in. I mean, there's a lot that happens, and we just know that the energies of December are often very busy, and we're often doing things for other people. So I want you to look, how can you help yourself through this? So that's coming. If you're not on the Let Love Rise mailing list, please sign up for Letters for Luna. That's probably the easiest way to do it. Go to letloverise.com, read a fun story. I just posted one recently called The Quest for Happiness, about a tree quest. If you can imagine, yes, I have a bucket list about a bunch of trees. Actually, the book is right here. I'll show you. This is my beautiful book called Wise Trees, and this is one of the it's the wishing tree, the Portland wishing tree that I just recently scratched off my bucket list. But there's a new one on it, that's Quest for Happiness. Anyhow, sign up there. What else? Some practical steps for you, because this is the full moon in Taurus, and Taurus is all about being practical. And oh my goodness, this is a long video. Thank you for listening, first and foremost. I hope that you find value in this. If so, please, like, share it with someone, subscribe, do all the things that help the algorithms. But the practical steps, some things that you can do. 1, you can request a mini roadmap session with me, where I can just help you understand your essential energies. Again, if you happen to be a November 15th person, bingo, you just got it here in this video. But I will be happy to share with you your personal cards. Jasper Mraz wants to say hi. So that is one practical step you can take. Another practical step, I will put it in the description here, is to work with the affirmation of transformation, which is the 9 of Spades. I just lost my card. the Nine of Spades affirmation. When you personally have the Nine of Spades as your Pluto card, as we do collectively on this full moon, to work with the affirmation, maybe repeat it. You can print it out, write it somewhere. If you're into art and calligraphy, you can use that. I have a grounding into love playlist that actually walks through the energies of this full moon. There are specific songs that are attached to the Five of Clubs, Seven of Hearts, Nine of Spades, plus a couple other songs that are just celebratory and grounding for this time. So grab a copy of the Spotify playlist, Grounding into Love. Another thing is, I call it spiritual fitness. When you have those moments where you're feeling anxious or anger, there's just a lot of energy in you, allow it to move through you. Don't keep it trapped inside. Anger is a higher vibration feeling than despair. So wherever you are on your emotional ladder, and again, if you want to talk about the emotional ladder, how to rise up the emotional ladder of energetically, that is something that we can cover in a soul roadmap session. But when we're in despair, that's about the bottom of the bottom. So even moving up to anger is a better reaching feeling. And then when you've had your angry moment, like, you want to move it through you. You want to let it go out and through you. So dance. One of my favorites is dancing. Yoga is great. Walking, running, swimming, biking, anything physical. Heck, have some sex. That is a great way to use energy. Whatever works to move the energy through you, do not allow it to stay trapped, because anger unexpressed turns into resentment, and that pulls you down the ladder. You want to go up that emotional ladder into these higher frequencies of the sevens, of the nines, of the spiritual energies. And I think I had one more, but I cannot recall it from memory. So if I do think about it, I will put it also in the description below. Thank you so much for being here. Maybe the last thing I would say very practically is put your feet in the earth. I know it's cold right now, but when you put your bare feet on the earth, or maybe even your bare hands on Mother Earth, and just take 3 deep breaths and ground into the energy of the earth, let it just drop you into this moment. And then if it's nighttime, look up. Look up at the stars. Look up at the moon. Look at this ever expanding universe, and remind yourself, what a gift. What a gift that you get to live on this beautiful planet and play in these amazing energies and experience the whole rainbow of emotion. Thank you for listening. It is my true hope that this full moon will feel supported and grounding in the midst of the changing energies that we are all partaking in. Find your center. Listen to that playlist. There's a lot of music that is going to help you pull within to your center. Here's to you, and to love and joy in the journey. Until next time, I'm Andrea Blythe, the traveling magi of Let Love Rise.
30-second dance party.